What's up, everybody? It's another episode of the Let's Talk podcast, where I'm bringing people on and we're just having a conversation. I got my guy James with me. Met this dude a few years ago. He was the kicker for our football team. Really great guy, doing some amazing things with basketball as well. Just a complete athlete. And I wanted to bring him on and have a conversation, and today we're going to talk about the generational gap or the generational differences. I'm a millennial, he's Gen Z, and we're just going to have a conversation. Um, because one thing that I understand is that anytime you have cultural differences or generational differences, at some point they're always going to butt heads. And today we're just going to talk about it. We're going to have some conversations. And so, real quick, Jag, what I want you to do real quick is just share with me some of the things that you saw growing up, some of the things that you did growing up that maybe us millennials may not understand or the older generation may not understand.
So I think the main thing. So me, like my parents are old. My dad, he would turn 60 this year if he was still alive. My mom 55. So I grew up like a lot of my parents are older than a lot of my generation's parents. So I kind of learned both ways. Obviously, coming up myself, you learn the new generation, but then you're kind of raised by how stuff was done back then. So I get both. I think the main thing I'd say is social media.
Okay.
Really, like a lot of like you're not old, but you're generation generation before me, but so you still kind of understand. But a lot of older people like they don't like. I'll tell them if I'm going for a basketball event, which is mainly social media stuff. They it's like I'm speaking a foreign language. They have no idea how, or they'll sit there and be "Who's like for Kai Cenat? He's probably one of the highest paid people in the world right now off the internet." And they'll
Yep.
judge him saying he has a fake job, and it's like, yeah, but you're getting up every day and he gets to go hang out with celebrities and makes millions more dollars. I
See,
think
it's
they're
the generation before us, man. They put it into our heads, man. The things that you love, you're not gonna be able, when you grow up, you're not gonna be able to get paid to do. And then turn around in your generation, you are the ones that are able to do those things. You're able to do those things. Man, we, growing up, we were playing video games every weekend, every Saturday, even when we got out of school. And what did our parents tell us? Man, you're not gonna be able to get a career off of that. You're not gonna be able to do
oh
X,
yeah.
Y, and Z. You won't be able to do any of that. And here we are, man. You got people getting paid millions of dollars just to play a video game. And now my generation missed out.
Yeah, it's just the new, like for instance, it's hypocritical because I'm in college right now. College is great, but I think the narrative of you have to have college is I don't think that's valid at all at this point that we're at.
Yeah, a lot of things can happen or take place with experience.
Like
Uh,
as far as kids stressing in high school, I don't want to go to college school, bro. There's so much. There's the trade school. There's so much easy ways to make money. I'm not gonna say easy. That's not a valid take, but there's way more ways to make money than going to school for 4 to 6 years and doing something you really don't want to do.
and over the years, all of that has changed. The way that all of that looks has changed. Uh, in the past, it used to be um, you were able to do school, full-time school, part-time job, be able to pay for everything. That's how it was when our parents were growing up, or our grandparents were growing up. Man, you could afford all of that. And then now, as you see it today, it's oh, you have to go to school, you have to get into debt, you have to do all of these things to be able to turn around and make a living or have a good income.
Yeah.
That's been pressed on us for so long, and now it's like you see these high school students. You were there just a few years ago. I've spent a lot of time around high schoolers, around junior high students. They're all stressing right now because of the pressure from every generation placing it on them like, hey, you got to excel in school. You got to go out to college, do the 4 years and go out and do all of this. And everything else is to live life is expensive.
So
To
I
do
say, yeah,
everything else.
I was kind of So by my going into my senior years when the whole street ball, social media side of basketball thing started. So I was going into my senior year, I was like, that's what I'm gonna do after. Like I was had all the and I'm still doing it, but I like had all the confidence in the world. Like that's what I'm gonna do. And then now look, I'm in college, so it's like I'm senior year saying I'm not going to college. I'm not going to college, and I'm at my second school. So you never know. Whatever works out for you.
Yeah, I mean it happens. It happens. Now, I want to ask you this, uh, because we'll really start seeing some of the differences between the two generations, between millennials and Gen Z. Tell me about the TV shows, the cartoons that you will watch growing up as a kid, and I'll share mine afterwards.
So a lot of yours might not be very different from me. Like I watch Fresh Prince.
Okay.
Uh, what else? I think a lot of core memory I have is the being with the Bernie Mac show. That was a good one. Cartoons. Uh, I didn't watch too much cartoons. Like
It's all right.
it was as far as like you can't even. Next time you see my mom, ask her what I watched as a kid. She'll tell you they used to catch me in the living room 2, 3 in the morning watching Sports Center or Baseball Tonight on TV. But cartoon, I do like being real little. Like a lot of it was Cartoon Network. Uh, I can't even put a name to them.
Listen, we had some goated shows back
Y'all had some good
in
ones.
the late '90s, early 2000s. We used to love Saturday mornings. Saturday morning cartoons were the best. Go get you a bowl of cereal at like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Turn it on the TV. You had some great uh, cartoons that come on. Shaolin Showdown, Yu-Gi-Oh. We had the X-Men series. We had all of that we were watching. Pokemon just came out in '95,
Yeah,
and
we
so
had Pokemon.
we were watching all of that and just enjoying life. And then as soon as those shows went off, we were running outside playing outside
That's
especially during the summer.
that's how we were when I was like we didn't have Wi-Fi till I was 11 years old when we moved over here. So me and all it was a group of us, all my friends. We like Michael.
Hmm.
So me, him, we have a whole group just lived on our street. We'd be outside every day from 7 in the morning till we had to go inside because we couldn't see. But I think a real one I remember watching, and you'll probably relate to this, is like I wasn't missing wrestling. Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, like I was the every night.
Listen, I still watch it to today. I watched last night's episode. They'll be in Houston on Monday, and so I'm debating if I want to get tickets or not.
That'd be a cool one, man. Cena's on his last ride.
Yep. And so it was just have some fun. I mean, that's that's the difference between both generations. We see fun differently right now, but ultimately, all of that is going to change. Right now, there's a lot of tension between, or not a lot of tension, but there's some frustration between both generations. Uh, Millennials don't understand Gen Z. Gen Z don't understand millennials. Gen X doesn't understand millennials. And
I
so
will say, as far as like real life situations, the older generation they make more sense to me.
the
Like,
older generation, how so?
yeah. So like, as far as our generation within like problems within each other, like I said, my dad's old, bruh. So we're taught like if it's that bad and to a problem where you can't talk it out, you go outside, you square up, and then it's done for. You shake his hand after. Now you could have a problem over a chick, and all the younger dudes they want to shoot each other. It's like they don't even
That
attempt to speak on it first.
that's the part that I don't understand or I don't get, and that's
I
that's
don't
part
get
of
it.
that's part of being that older side, because that's exactly how we handle situations back in the day, man. You're upset with somebody, throw on some gloves or square up, and then it was over with.
Yeah, if
Nowadays,
it's to
it's
the point where you can't talk it out, then you just go throw a little bit of punches, and then that's it. That's that.
call it a day. You ain't got to be friends afterwards, but you in a better place. You ain't have to
So
worry about anybody going to go grab anything. Man, one of these things that I don't understand, and it's something that took place a couple years ago. Things got a rapper named Fulio. It was him and somebody else.
Young and
Man,
Ace.
they're all beefing. They're writing diss tracks
Yeah.
to each other, and I'm like, bro, the things that y'all are talking about, y'all are bold in saying this. Like, I wouldn't share that with anybody. That whole line, "Where's Corbin?" I was like, when I found out what actually happened to Corbin, I was like, oh no, y'all can have this. I ain't beefing with any of y'all.
Yeah, they were eliminating. They were just going by process of elimination.
It was wild. Uh, but that's the difference. And one thing that one thing that I try to do is I try to reach this younger generation, uh, because I want to be an influence. There was an influence. Uh, there was a couple people that influenced me, and so I want to turn around what they did with me. I want to do with others. Uh, and you've experienced that. I mean, we're not gonna talk about that time we went to the Astros game and you gave me wrong directions and had me driving on the wrong side of the
No,
road.
no, 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 no. I did not tell you to take that right.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I said no because you misheard me. You misunderstood me and took the right.
I had to hurry up and make a U-turn to correct it and get to where we were going. But that ended up being a great
That's a
game,
core memory
great play.
because we're down. We're down there all the time for basketball stuff. Everything and that court's right there. That's where it was at.
Yeah.
So every time I can just hear in my head, we not gonna tell nobody about this.
Every time I'm in downtown Houston, that's the first thing that I think of. Man, we drove on the wrong side of the road
Who we?
just
Oh,
for
we
a
were
brief moment.
Devin. We were
Yeah,
Devin.
going to that Astros game, which it was a great game, a fun game.
It was a lot of records broken in that game.
Yeah, but man, that again, that's a core memory that I have, and that's ultimately what you want to do. You want to create memories, create
Oh yeah.
fun times, uh, and have that. And so to be able to influence a younger generation, pour into them, that's all ultimately what it is that you want to do, because your generation was raised by the generation before us, and this next generation under you, Gen Alpha, is raised by millennials. And so, however we raise Gen Alpha, we'll see and we'll understand. Uh, One, if we got it right. Two, if we need to fix some things. Because that's ultimately that's how we track it. See how we're going based off of the youngest generation that's around or coming up, and that's part of the reason why uh, Gen Z can get along better with Gen X, because those were your parents. Those are the people that you grew up with, understood, and they're the ones that's teaching you. So if there's any time where it's like, man, I'm not getting this, you gotta look for the generation right before.
Yeah. That's
So
what I.
go ahead.
I really feel like I got lucky just with my setting. Like even like the
You
OG,
did get lucky.
like at the basketball court, just being out over there all the time. Just even now, I'm just on the sideline, just learning stuff.
Yeah, I remember. I think either you showed me your Spotify playlist or I was showing you mine,
It was
and I
me.
was showing yeah, you brought up some 90s R&B, and I was like, man, what you know about that? And that's what you told me about your parents' age, and I was like, oh yeah, he grew up old school. He grew up with the right generation.
Yep. I know all that, man. If you look at my playlist, it ranges from like the '60s to now, from
See,
any genres on my playlist.
and I'm glad that we do that because we get to learn from different generations. We get to learn from uh, Gen X. We get to learn from boomers. There's always somebody that we get to learn from. Somebody that we can say, hey, teach us that, teach us something. Because if we're not doing that, then ultimately we're going to end up failing. If we're not reaching the next generation, the next age group, if we're not reaching the next, then something's going to fall through the cracks. And we going to end up missing something.
That's what I tell people all the time. Like, bro, you want to learn something about life? Go talk to a 70, 80-year-old man. Sit down for an hour, talk to him. You'll learn a lot.
Yeah. We got to also understand that times were different then than they are now.
Oh,
But
yeah.
at the same time, what they're saying has some legitimacy to it. And there's always something that you can take from it and say, all right, let me add this let me put this in my bag and add that.
The only thing I really disagree with the older people is LeBron versus Jordan. They wrong about that one every time.
Come on, man. Bleacher Report just came out and ranked
And they're wrong
is the
too.
best. They put Jordan number one. I'll say they also put Kobe at like 11, which I'm like, we got to talk about that one.
That blows my mind. Not to change the topic, but Kobe being not in the top 10 is.
There's something we gotta discuss.
That's something we got to riot.
But it's good to have those conversations and you bring those two generations in. I mean, we've had this conversation before, the MJ versus LeBron
You're on my side though.
conversation. I mean, I look at it differently though. Like I look at it as overall, yeah, LeBron, if you look at points and all of that statistic wise, yeah, LeBron is better. Uh, Jordan, I would just say he has more rings. He had a better squad around him that he lifted up, he picked up and said, hey, we're gonna be something great. And he did two, three peats that no one's ever done before besides Kobe and Shaq.
Yep, that is Jordan's great for sure. I'm not bashing him. He's just it too for me. Just what it is.
He's too.
I just look at it as the best all around player to ever play the game, and I don't think you can argue that it's LeBron.
And
I don't think you can argue against it being LeBron.
and this is actually a great way to talk about the differences between generations. Because every generation, they're gonna have their GOAT. They're gonna have their greatest player ever. Uh, Gen Z, they've known nothing but LeBron, and they've seen LeBron at a very high status, play at a very high level, and so they're
LeBron.
always gonna say he's the GOAT. He's the greatest player that we've ever seen. Millennials will say the same for Jordan because at that time, Jordan was the greatest player that we've ever been able to put eyes on. You have generations that'll say uh, Magic and Bird. You have generations that say Kareem. You have some generations that
Billy
say
Bird.
Bob Cousy. Bob Cousy was the greatest player out there, and that was way back in the 50s. And so it's all about the generation and how their point of view is, and a lot of it is not going to
Also,
change.
the time has to count for something. LeBron been in the league
Yeah,
longer than I've been alive.
yeah. To '03, he's been in the league.
I was born in 05.
Yeah. So again, that's
And he's been.
all you've known. All you've seen was LeBron dominate at a high level.
Yep. But I'm saying, like, I hate the old heads trying to take away from him. He's been playing longer. Like, first of all, he passed Jordan in points on less shots, so that take is terrible. Second, that has to mean something. Like, if he is an all star at 40 years old, that has to count for something.
The oldest player he's the only one to be able to play this long and still play at a high level. Now, I want to see. I mean, I would say he has a year or two left, if that. I want to see how he goes. I want to see how he ends. I would love to see him end on his terms, meaning he doesn't get an injury that takes him away from the game, that forces him to retire. I would rather him say, hey, this is going to be my last year. Play out that 4 year, kind of how Kobe did.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see Kobe's last 4 years because those last few years it was riddled with injuries to the point where he said, hey, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to give you 1 year and then we're going to be done. I would have
And
rather those last 4 years be dominant.
It was hard to be dominant with that team, but
Oh, for sure.
that
They they weren't putting anybody around him.
that was a rough one.
They weren't doing it. But hey, maybe this next generation, they'll be calling Luca the GOAT, calling him the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll see.
he's got a. I mean, to me, he has a chance. A few of those guys in the league got the chance. I just don't think they're gonna like. Luca's already said he don't want to play no more than 15 years. Like you
I mean,
guys, it's gonna be tough.
he's been playing since he's a teenager, playing professionally since he's a
You
teenager.
know what I'm saying? He was a Real Madrid going
Yeah.
crazy at 15 years old. Yeah,
I feel like if he was to retire today, 5 years later, he's in the Naismith Hall of Fame
yeah. Oh, he's a yeah. I think
because he
he.
has that much of the accolades without even uh, being in the NBA for 10 years. He's only been in the NBA for what, 5, 6 years?
Yeah, for me, like that'd be a great guy. Like if I had a kid wanting to model their game off of somebody, go watch him. He's not fast. He's not athletic, but he plays it. He plays his game, and look at it.
The only thing I would change with him is, man, he got to give me some defense.
True.
I ain't saying he had to be NBA first team defense or anything like that. He can be
Yeah,
second or third,
that's
but
facts.
I just want to see some defense.
Him or a guy like Darius Garland from the Cavs.
Hmm.
You really want. You don't see him a lot on highlights, but you go watch him play basketball.
True.
It's
Now let me ask you this, since we're talking about generations,
yeah.
especially in NBA generations. If you put LeBron in the 50,
Stop.
still
Don't even
has this
know.
skill set, how many points is he averaging
In the 50s,
in the 50?
over 100.
You would say he'll have 100?
I'm not
Okay,
even. I'm not even. No, 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 no. I'm not even being exaggerated.
let's put him with Chamberlain's generation, because he
So here's why I say that.
go ahead.
Chamberlain dropped. We'll just go ahead and say it. He dropped 100. True or not, it happened. Whatever. We're just gonna say it happened. He did that with no 3-point line. He couldn't shoot the ball.
True.
Throw LeBron in there. They're gonna foul him. He's gonna get to the rim every time. He's going to make his free throws. That's the 3-pointer. And then he's going to be able to shoot the ball, which they did not see in an efficient rating. He will drop over 100 points.
I could see that. I can still see that. As physical as he is,
They're going to
Braun
give. They would give them the ball. Whoever, dude, they were playing against me out there. Every 5'8",
from
just
plumbers.
what? Yeah, dude. Like they are going to get the ball. LeBron is going to take it every time the ball comes near him. He is going to go get a layup every
I
single.
I would say they would have to reinforce the rims. We saw Shaq be one of the first ones to tear the rim down. We put LeBron, prime LeBron, in that era. Go ahead and have a few goals extra.
Yeah, it's over 100, and then like I just don't understand how you can hate the man. Now, as far as if you have a disagreement with him off the court stuff, I get it, but that has nothing to do with the game. Neither does flopping. That has nothing to do with the game. He's not the first one to flop. Then we'll talk about old guy didn't do. Look at Jordan, bro. He flopped too. You go watch some games.
Manu did it.
Manu Ginobili really enforced it.
Yeah,
Flopping it's soft, whatever, bro. It has nothing to do with basketball. That doesn't flop. I'm not gonna go look at the stats if I compare him to Jordan, so per se, and it's not gonna say who flopped more. There's no flop in a stat book. That has nothing to do with basketball.
I'll give you that.
There's just a
I'll
lot of
give you
stuff.
that.
That and then when they say, "Well, he passed the ball at the end of the game," we're not bashing a player for making the right play. Why is that a You can't tell. And old heads will be like, "Oh, it's nothing but ball hog basketball these days, shooting threes." But when LeBron makes the right play and passes an open guy at the end of the game for the best shot, now it's, oh, he's scared of the moment. Like, no, bro, he's making the right play.
I don't mind my best player passing up the shot to give a passing up to give an open shot to get a
As a
better look
point,
instead
as a
of
point
contesting.
guard, as a pass first guard, me neither, bro.
But that's my generation looking at uh, Jordan and Kobe because we both know Jordan and Kobe. If it's the last shot, they're the ones that want to take it. I'm not
Oh
putting
yeah,
it in the hands of somebody else. I'm taking the last shot and I'm gonna live or die with whatever outcome.
and Bron's had those moments too. He has plenty of game winners, but at the same time, you've got to make the right play. So
Yeah, there's always one that's gonna stick out. Uh, Playoff game-winning shot.
against
Where
Orlando,
there's two of them. It's the Orlando one. Then there's one against
Toronto,
yeah, Toronto, where he kissed it off.
and
He kissed it off the glass.
yeah,
Those would be the top two when I think postseason playoff game winning shots. Uh, Obviously before Halliburton this past
oh
uh,
my goodness,
playoff series, that dude it was like, oh, you got zero point 0.3 seconds left, and you give him a open shot, even if it's not open, you give him a shot opportunity. Go ahead and count that.
yeah, it's unfortunate he won't be playing this season.
So let me ask you this: if he wasn't injured, Game 7, who wins that? Pacers or OKC?
I ain't gonna lie, I can't give you no, and I don't think anybody could give you a definite answer on that. The both of those teams were, and I hate watching Shea play basketball, but I got to give him his credit. But
I I'm picking Pacers.
I
The way
wanted,
that
I wanted the Pacers to win.
I did too, for two reasons. One, Miles Turner, UT guy.
Yeah,
He went to University of Texas.
not a
Obviously,
te-
I
not
want
a
all my
Texas
UT
guy,
people
but I get.
to I want all my UT people to succeed. Uh, After that, it's Rick Carlisle. So Rick Carlisle, former coach of the Mavs, had to root for the guy. I call him the great value Jim Carrey because he looks just like Jim Carrey. If
That's
you're
dude
gonna
from
see,
wait, that's dude from Dumb and Dumber, right?
yes.
Yeah.
If you don't see it, just go look up Jim Carrey and look up Rick Carlisle, put them face to face.
Now the real
They could
reason
be.
I like the Pacers just because I don't know if you paid attention and it was trending. It's tough to watch the NBA.
It
They
is.
So I'll say not just biased because I'm a Rockets fan, but I can watch the Rockets and Indiana. They played very very team ball.
Yeah.
The rest of
And
these
what we
teams,
have, what we had were two small market teams, uh, and they were both right there in the NBA Finals. Which most people that you want a big market team, they wanted the Knicks to go, they want the Knicks to make it or whatnot. These bigger teams, any team in LA or California, those large market teams, those are the ones that people want to see. But we love the small market teams to
oh
make
yeah,
it and win it.
absolutely. Like I watch a lot of the NBL. It's the Australian League.
Yeah.
That's you go watch EuroLeague basketball. You can play. They play defense every possession.
And I'll tell you this upcoming season, I'm excited for because the West is going to be a gauntlet. It's you gonna have to bring your A game every night in the West. The East will probably be a pillow fight. You'll have one team just kind of, if they're healthy, whatever team is healthy, they'll lead the charge, they'll lead the way. But in the West, man, you better bring it. You better lace up your sneakers and not take a day off.
And that West, especially with like us and y'all and the Spurs, man.
Spurs got better. The Rockets got better. My Mavs got better. State of
Real
Texas,
question is, oh, what's that football looking like?
man, you already know what the football looking like. I'm I'm with my team, with my squad.
What? Oh my God, no, bro. I was gonna ask you how y'all feel about George Pickens, but I forgot you're a bandwagon Chiefs fan now.
Oh, ain't no bandwagon. we rocking with Pickens. All we need to do now is beef up the defense, and we're gonna be set.
So you're back to the Cowboys.
All we gotta do is beef up the defense, and we are going to be set. That's the only hiccup we're gonna have this year is defense. You better get Michael Parsons signed. I want to see him get signed uh before everybody has to start reporting, before all this, before preseason come around. I need to see Michael Parsons re-signed. I don't want him playing on the last year of his contract because if he does,
He's out of
Jerry, we're gonna have a conversation. I'm gonna knock on your door while you calling the cops. I'm gonna be having a conversation with you.
I think y'all. I really just think y'all had a bad season this season, and like, yeah, y'all fumbled in the playoffs. Y'all had good seasons for the last 3-4 years.
Yeah,
It's another thing like, and Texans fans are gonna fail to see that because most of those dudes are now Texans fans from C.J. Stroud's rookie year. They didn't watch Texans football before that, and I'm happy to see the Texans doing good. But they just Houston sport, and I'm a Rockets fan, but Houston sports fans are the worst.
I can see that.
They are the worst, and it sucks for me because, like I said, like you didn't, like I just was watching like Astros before they even went back to the orange and blue, and they still had the red star. I was little watching that when we sucked, and so I hate seeing all these Astros fans, and they don't they don't know Astros baseball. They just know World Series Astros baseball.
Listen, I gotta admit, I'm kind of with them. I grew up as a
Right,
Rangers fan.
right.
I started watching the Rangers, but the only reason that I switched from the Rangers to Houston,
You had to
uh,
have a Houston team.
I had to have a Houston team. I was in the Houston area, so I was like, hey, I'm jumping ship. Let me go ahead and jump ship to where I'm at. Uh, but they let go of all of my favorite players, and so I just looked at the management. I was like, man,
Oh,
y'all aren't trying.
you probably had the Adrian Beltre, Elvis Andrus.
Yep,
I used to Josh
the
Hamilton.
moment, man, Josh Hamilton was one of my favorites. I loved his
That's
story
one of
of
my
redemption.
yeah, absolutely.
I remember because I just started watching baseball at that point, when they were skyrocketing. The first year that I started watching was the summer that they went to the World Series for the first time. That's why I was like, okay, let me sit down
Against
and
St.
watch.
Louis.
Yeah, against the Cardinals.
Yeah,
We again we would have won that if Nelson Cruz would have just hustled to get that last out instead of just letting it go foul. We would have gotten that out. We would have pieced out. We got the dub. We World Series champions. But I digress.
that Cardinals team was crazy though.
It was Albert Pujols, man. I hated every time he came up to bat. But then I hated him even more when he went to the Angels. But
I
he ain't
watched.
do much with the Angels.
I went to an Astros. I don't think he did too bad. He just wasn't with like he was with St. Louis. I went to an Astros game when Trout, Shohei, and Pujols were all on the Angels. That was a cool one to watch. Pujols hit a home run that game.
I mean, the talent that they have, but not able to put it all together. I
Yeah,
don't- I can't see how Trout is still there. If I'm him, I would have left a long time ago. Hey, I want to be able to contend.
it's a Dame Lillard situation.
It is. I feel like the organization would have to trade him or just say, hey, we're not going to re-sign you. We're not going to re-sign you. We'll allow you to go out and test free
I feel
agents.
like guys like that, you got like what the Rockets just did with Cam Whitmore. Teams
Hmm.
need to do that a lot, and people gonna hate me. Reed Shepard doesn't belong on the Rockets. He
Ain't got
does,
no argument.
and
I have no argument against that.
I called it at the draft. We should have took, which it ended up working. We got a big with Steven Adams, which I didn't think was gonna do what he did. I will say I didn't think he was gonna be that great of a asset, but shout out Steven Adams.
Listen,
I
he's
thought we should have took Edie in that draft. I
okay.
thought we should have went and got Zach. Had a good inside big. He could still shoot the ball. And then they took Reed Shepard. We had 86 guards at the time. Why are we gonna take Reed Shepard? But like Cam Whitmore, what they just did, helping him find a place that fits. Teams need to do that more.
Yep. But all right, that's gonna be the end of it. I'm gonna ask you one last question, and then we'll cut it here about this generational difference or generational gap. If you could take one piece of advice from the generation before you, the generation before us, before millennials, so generation Gen X, if you could take a piece of advice or something that you've been told from them, what would it be? Like share uh, something that they've said to you that stuck with you.
That's you talking about the generation before you, correct? So that's my
Yeah,
parents.
yeah,
Oh, there's a lot. Just just one piece of advice.
yeah.
We'll go with man. Yeah. You gonna have to let me think here. Probably gonna have to edit this and cut it to when I say something. Woo. That's the easiest but toughest question you done asked. Dang. Oh, you know what? I'll say something from my dad for sure. God rest his soul. But for sure, just no matter what comes at you in life or what happens in life, that's what it is. Just keep going. Don't got time to call people, complain, figure out how you can cheat it. Just go through with it, and then in the end, it'll be worth it.
I
That was
like that.
something for sure. That's one of the main things. Like he got to the point where he couldn't walk or none of that, and he just still like had everybody laughing in the room for sure. And that's just what he always said. He was like, dude, he's like, this is what I can't control it, so I might as well just do my best with it. That's for sure. I should have thought about first one off the bat. That should have been what I said.
It's all right. So I'll leave us with this in the words of the great theologian Kendrick Lamar. I know the world may be going through some troubles. You're gonna be going through some dark times, but in the words of Kendrick Lamar, we gonna be all right. All right, Jack. Peace out. You have a good day, man.
Yes, sir. You too. I appreciate it.
Bye.